Hello, viewers, and welcome to TradeFlock. Today we have with us Mr. Srinivasan Sarvabhouman. He's the Group CFO of Sagility, which is a technology enabled, pure play, healthcare focused solutions and service provider. Srini comes with 30 years of experience and he holds a strategic leadership in finance and governance, which is instrumental in steering the company through complex challenges. In his current role, Srini spearheaded the company's IPO process, collaborating with over 30 professional firms and ensured a successful listing in the public market. This is something incredible for a guy who comes from a small family, an ordinary family from Chennai, and who has crossed the ranks to reach where he is today. So, in this conversation, we will understand from Srini about his personal life, his work, and what are his roles and responsibilities at Sigility. Welcome to the conversation, Srinivasan.
Thanks, Anamika. Thank you so much for having me here. And viewers, a good day to you all. So privileged to be here. And again, once again, thanking TradeFlock for this opportunity.
Srini, before anything else, we would like to know a little bit about you as an individual and your current roles and responsibilities within the organization.
Yeah, a great question. You as an individual, I strongly believe that I need to be a human being first, give values to people around me or respect people. Uh, Broadly, I would say that you treat human beings and not just as money making machines. So I strongly believe in people values. So that's about me as an individual. I would treat others as I would love to be treated. So that's the personality in me. And from a roles and responsibilities, I spearhead the finance function at Sagility for the entire group. And as you had introduced to the viewers, I've been playing crucial roles in getting this company listed in our stock exchanges, NSE and BSE. In addition to financial responsibilities, I head the corporate real estate, employee transport, travel functions, procurement, internal audit, and sustainability functions in the organization.
Mhm. So, we will talk about your work through this conversation, Srini, but let us also understand a little bit about your childhood, how it was, how did you grow through these ranks and reach where you are today?
Yeah, I hailed from Tamil Nadu, Chennai. I was born in Chennai, but all my education were in Madurai, earlier primary education, Coimbatore, smaller tier 2 cities in Tamil Nadu. My father had a transferable job. So it was never something that was stable till about middle school or high school. So then I think from eighth standard or so, or seventh standard, I moved to Chennai, and that is when I studied in Vidya Mandir. I got an opportunity. My father gave me very good education, though we hailed from the average middle class family. And yeah, I passed my 10th in 86, and then on my own did my undergraduation. I did BCom in the sense, like when I said on my own, I always did want to trouble my parents for sponsoring my higher education. So what I did was I took their help till the 12th standard, and then I think that was the time the Indian stock market was absolutely crazy, thanks to Mr. Harshad Mehta. I'm sure people who have not watched the movie uh, Lucky Bhaskar, you should watch that movie. I was also one of those lucky guys who just, without even understanding the basics of finance, basics of stock market, everybody traded. I also joined the bandwagon, bought and sold stocks, made some big monies, and I also lost money in the sense, but net made some gains, which helped uh, me funding or sponsoring my education. I did BCom in Vivekananda College. Then I enrolled myself into the cost and works accountants. It's the ICWA. I cleared them in the first attempt. And then post my BCom, joined the CA Institute, and I'm a chartered accountant. So
Great.
that's the
So in the
brief of
sense,
my family. Yeah, yeah,
so in
sorry.
the sense, we can say that Harshad Mehta was the person who inspired you to enter into the world of finance.
Yes, I would definitely say that. I didn't know it was Harshad Mehta then. The stock markets were booming and people were talking, the entire nation was talking about what is value creation, not in the true sense, but people were making quick money. I was exposed to those kinds of friends who were investing in stocks. Those were the days. I also, after BCom, I enrolled my CA. So obviously, my inclination towards finance had, even otherwise, I would have reviewed the stock markets. Those days, it was not computer. There were no computers. We used to get the stock prices every day uh, in the evening newspaper, or sometimes the next day morning, and you track all the company names that you want to buy. You with columnar forms with the dates and how is the uh, moving. Nobody knew why it is moving. I didn't understand multiples. I didn't understand PE. I didn't understand EPS. Nothing of that sort. How is the stock trading? What's the movement? Can I take a calculated guess? So it was more like a gamble, but that gamble helped me fund my education. I would put it
So I
that
think that actually infused certain traits of the finance leadership within you to take that risk and uh, grow the organization.
Yeah, I would say that's a natural instinct to take risks, willing to plunge into it. But as a corporate professional, we need to take calculated risks. It should not be a blind risk. I would say that, yes, that I was lucky, like a lucky bastard. I was also a lucky guy. But I would say we need to go through the proper fundamentals, understand the business, ensure that. So, yes, I do take risks, and I take very quick decisions. It could be impulsive, it could be, but I always believe that as long as it's backed by solid data and you have everything evident, then the decision making is much more easier. But in real time situations, you don't always get into all the data on hand, and you don't have that luxury in real time. So I
True.
would actually say that yes, follow your instincts, uh, as long as you are true, clean, and not harming anything or not doing anything against the law. Your
Mhm.
conscience is the best judge for you, and you follow your gut and be honest, then I don't think we need to worry too much.
Great. So did your gut actually failed you anytime?
A couple of times when I made a decision to switch jobs, I could have made some
Mhm.
wrong choices in my life, but that's fine. See, 8 to 9 out of 10 times, if your gut says you're right, then I think it's worth taking the plunge, because life is all about uh, experiencing the journey. The living the life is the most important and cherished part of it, rather than, hey, I want to reach here. There is no destination in our lives. We just need to enjoy the journey. And many people, I think, these days, when they chase money or when they chase wealth, when they chase value, they forget to enjoy what is there in front of them every day. So then they go to a meditation class or to join some Guruji, only to realize that, hey, present is more important. That's why it's called present. All those gyan you get to hear from them. It's not that we do not know all of that. In fact, again, thanks to a very humble beginning in my life, or my family background, they taught me with a lot of values and ethics. So those help always has helped me to stay rooted to the ground. And so then, as you grow, you got to grow slow and steady. And so that the fall, even if there is a fall, it doesn't hurt you much. So you always go with enough precautions and risk cover, if I have to say, in life. So that
Mhm.
is when your journey can be smooth and safe, I would say. So that has
Great.
been my path. So I'm not saying everybody should be, because today there are great entrepreneurs who just start up companies just like that, uh, and with great ideas and vision, they become visionaries and leaders, and they grow their companies very well. So there is a new breed which is a fresh thinking. What market we never expected, these new entrepreneurs, these young professionals are creating new markets, new avenues, expanding the horizon, expanding the way how we think. I think India is in a very safe hands uh, with our youngsters and great professionals.
Okay. So when you touch base on the young professionals and the new generation of entrepreneurs, you spoke good about them. Is there anything that you find they need to work on and actually fix things properly?
Okay, not all entrepreneurs are successful. Okay, so one thing that I see in these new young generation employees, it could be MBAs from B schools, big B schools, or chartered accountants. They just want to fly high from day one. So they aren't really fixing their basics, in the sense like not learning. At the beginning of your career, I strongly believe what you learn is more important than what you earn. So if people learn properly how to do, they uh, they get the basics right, then it's always easy to build on it, add skills, add people skills. Workplace is not just all about uh, knowledge and your contribution. You realize that when you work in companies, that how to make your team successful, how to make your peers successful, how to make the company successful. If you work for somebody else's success, then automatically you also grow. Probably there are people who backstab you, betray you, all that may happen in the corporate world. But broadly, as long as your conscience is clear and you work on your values and ethics, then I think there is no stopping. So these youngsters, the message to the youngsters is just be careful, make sure that your basics are right, and probably slightly lower your greed levels to make wealth quickly. Rather learn, focus on profession, have the right values. It's not that you should not grow. I'm not against you growing, but I would say that grow at not at somebody else's cost. Grow at your own cost. That would be the slight message. But I think broadly, these days, guys are, I would say, they are really intelligent, and there is a new breed. There is a fresh thinking. That thinking, probably I was not exposed because of my background. But
Mhm.
when I'm getting exposed to that, I was already 40 plus by then. So
So age is just a number, Srini. I believe uh, that in the near future we could hear something very big from you as well, or about you as well. So I think we should
yeah,
wait and watch.
I completely agree. I would say, see, when I started my career, I still remember during my audit days, we used to do uh, budgeting and planning. The annual
Mhm.
budget was prepared in with pen and pencil, pen pencil sheets. We never had Excel spreadsheets. I remember doing bank reconciliation with pen and paper. So I'm just saying, the world has grown way too fast in the last 40, 50 years. And disruption is the only new norm. And if there is a disruption that is going to be stable, then yes, we can say that the new technology or the new space uh, has got, say, 10 to 15 years of shelf life. But with lot more advancement in technology and data analytics and data sciences that's available today, uh, a longer term life or tenure for a particular uh, phenomena can only be 5 to 7 years or even 5 years. So every 5 years, the world is changing. So it's not just a decade or oh, these are 90s kids, 2K kids, or 80s kids. It's not, no more 10 years. It's the life is all about every 5 years now. I think that's the pace at which the
World
economy
is
or the
changing.
world is growing. Yeah.
True. So you just mentioned you started with the pen and pencil accounting system to now using AI, generative AI, data analytics, and so many tools. How was your journey from the pen and paper era to the technology era? Uh, was there any difficulty in adapting these technologies or integrating them into your work system? And how do you find them today, easing your work?
Actually, technology has been a great boon. You got to embrace it, to enjoy it, and otherwise, it becomes a necessity eventually, and you are supposed to learn. Otherwise, you are not there in the game. So when I started, as I said during my audit, I have never been exposed to a computers or a computerized accounting those days. And so when we first moved in, my CEO, by then CEO at Harita Finance, Mr. Vasu Srinivasan, he was the guy who he walked up. He never behaved like a CEO. He just walked up across to me. I was a fresh trainee then, CA trainee, industrial trainee. He says, "Hey, please pick up your PC skills. That's the future." And I
Mhm,
still remember him pushing every individual. And so, luckily, I've got many mentors in life who has actually shaped me. It's not that I have grown on my own. Yeah, they have shaped me, and I had put in my part, my effort. But he was the one who pushed me. Then I had a boss called Mr. Surya Narayanan. He taught me Lotus 123. So those days, that was the first exposure to a spreadsheet. As an accountant, obviously, we open a Excel spreadsheet for everything, and we don't open a PPT or a Word as the first thing. Let's first get everything in Excel, then you convert that into your right mode. So I was exposed to the electronic spreadsheets. Then in a couple of years, that was the time emails were there. Then there is something called a talking PC. I remember as a kiosk in our office where you can do an internet calling to somebody in the US and talk. So that was called as a talking PC. Those were like primitive stages of computerization. From there, there was no looking back. Then computers became the base norms, and you were always life has changed very drastically, and we have used multiple packages like primitive accounting packages to high-end ERP and stuff like that. So I've implemented PeopleSoft, SAP, Workday in the organizations multiple times. I've been a part of those journey. So every time, whenever there is a new technology, but the basics are still the same. 2 plus 2 is always 4. So it's the way how you arrive at it, how you make the most of it, how you are making it more efficient and meaningful makes the difference. So technology has always been a boon. I embrace them, and if you want to stay ahead of the curve, get onto the train faster, take that plunge. That's the risk I always take. It's okay. Whenever sometime very recently, I would say in my organization Sagility, we moved in from SAP to Workday. So while we configured the Workday system, I didn't want to do a parallel run. I said, okay, let's manage it. I do
mhm.
not want to really uh, do a parallel run, reconcile both books, etc. Let's take the plunge. Let's just get the opening balances. Just move ahead with Workday. I know we will have challenges. We will struggle, but eventually we will learn and we will all be successful together. So those were some of the gut feel decisions I have taken, which had worked in my favor.
Great. We just spoke about the changing landscape, the dynamics of the business world and the technology world. Looking at the space at which these times are changing right now, uh, how would you define the role of the CFO in the coming near future, say 5 years? And how are you preparing yourself for it?
Great question. So these days, CFOs are no more responsible for preparing the reports. They are all there, all the tools, technologies. So, how, as a CFO, you can play a strategic role in building the organization, partnering with the CEO and the board, or how would you play a stewardship role in terms of how to be focusing on growth for the organization, managing the risk for the organization, being aware of technological disruption. disruption, being aware of the threats that technology can pose, whether in terms of a ransomware or it could be any virus or a cyber attack, etc. So you got to really, a CFO is no more an accountant. He is largely a business entrepreneur who can actually connect the dots between business actions to the dollar in the bank. So
Mhm.
if you are able to do that role, that is the CFO that the world is expecting or world will evolve. So a CFO is no more an accountant or no more. However, having said that, that doesn't mean that uh, you can just go all out and ignore numbers, because numbers at the end of the day, money is like blood in our body. So it's the lifeline. All of
Mhm.
us are for that. So how you got to ensure and that there are right systems in place, right controls in place, and you have the right processes, high value, uh, highest value attached to the ethics and the way we operate. All governance structure needs to be there, review mechanisms need to be there. Then the financial controller will take over everything. And as long as you have a solid financial controller to take care of the basics and deliver the numbers quarter on quarter to the investors, so then it helps the CFO a lot more. The success of a CFO depends on two critical roles. One could be the financial controller in your organization, and another guy is your FP&A,
Mhm.
your business finance analyst guy. So if these two horses are the best horses, then automatically, even if you're an average CFO, you will be seen as a rising superstar sitting on the driver's seat. But actually, those two horses are very critical for it. So another important changing thing that happens to a CFO is CFO or the finance function doesn't sit in an ivory tower. They are not isolated. They are all permeable, all or permissible. They got to CFOs got to reach out to each and every business owner, build connects. There are many things that numbers alone cannot solve. Only relationships take you there. Because at the end of the day, we don't realize that we are all interacting with people. The investors, the stock market, everybody are made of people. The whole world is made of people. We just use things and technologies to support our living better. At the end
Mhm.
of the day, it's the human touch that is very critical. And as long as you are focused and honest to all the stakeholders, be it investors, be it employees, I think then you will be a successful CFO. A CFO needs to be an HR person. He needs to be a marketing person. He needs to be a business operations head. So he should be a jack of all trades, is what I would think.
But master of finance.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that goes without saying. That goes without saying. Yeah. That's the
So,
underlying principle. That's why I said all business decisions in your head is converted into your dollar terms in your head.
mhm.
So if you can able to marry those two, all business decisions have a financial impact or may not have a financial impact. How you treat an employee, how you empathize with an employee may not have a financial value. But if somebody wants to crudely measure that, they can say, hey, attrition and the cost of attrition in an organization can be a result or can be a measure to show your empathy. I'm just trying to see how can an abstract thing be valued. It cannot be valued. Like say goodwill in an organization, the PE multiple in an organization cannot be valued. It has to be perceived. It has to be, the market has to feel for it. And then if investors have to believe that, yes, this company has this potential to grow, so they will have to give that sentiment. So human values are the most important thing for a CFO. And whatever I've said on finance is all given. They are
Mhm.
all the basic necessities that every organization should have. And we have using that as a jumping board. That's where the CFO role starts, and he has to take the bigger uh, jump or the plunge.
Okay. We have last 3 minutes left here, Srinivasan. I have one last question for you. is if you have to define yourself as a CFO in one sentence, how would you do that?
Or I would respond to your question slightly differently. After I resign or after I finish my career, how do I want people to remember me as a CFO? I can answer that.
Okay,
One of the most honest, ethical finance professional who has touched many lives and have helped people grow and have always stood what is right. And I would love to be known as the CFO with the highest values and ethics. I may not be the sharpest or the most intelligent person in the world, but I should be of highest integrity and value. That, though people say that's basics and given, very rarely those
that's
can be
followed.
displayed on all situations. On all situations. Yeah, there are
Mhm.
95% of the people will follow that. But there are just one or two rare occasions where there is a very thin line dividing uh, what is business and what is ethics. So people will have to be always conscious of that and always do the right thing. So I would respond it that way.
Nice. So actually, that makes more sense because uh, what I think about me, more important to that is what people perceive me and think about me as an individual. That because that shows what you have contributed to the organization, to the society, and to the people individually. So that was a really nice thought as to, and I believe people are viewing you that way, and you don't have to wait to retire and then see what people think about you. They are actually perceiving you that way, I believe. So,
Yeah,
uh,
you're right. You're right. And I'm just saying. So somebody, we talk about people or we value people as they are, and I think people are the greatest assets in this world. And
mhm,
whatever we have created are all in our people centric. So as long as you have empathy, you have a great heart, you cherish every day in your life, you try to create more moments of joy every day and experience and enjoy what you're doing every minute, every day, then I think there is nothing called success. Again, people, unfortunately, people measure success with money and wealth these days. But I think to me, success is a person who has got the most happiness quotient or the contentment quotient. Yeah, I'm extremely happy today. I'm relaxed. I know I'm enjoying life. A person who can consciously touch their heart and say, "Hey, I'm thankful to God, or I'm thankful to uh, the nature, or thankful to my parents, thankful to my gurus who have molded me." And a person who is always grounded and is uh, thanking all the opportunities. Today, I may be standing as a CFO because of
sorry to
so much of
interrupt
hard
you,
work.
Srini. Just sorry to interrupt you. We have just 30 seconds left, and I'll have to close this here. Otherwise, this meeting will end automatically.
Yeah, yeah, sure, no worries. So
So,
that's what I said. People first. That's
people
the
first,
two word. People
two words.
first.
So, audiences, this is Srini for you. And Srini, thank you so much for your time and sharing your personal and professional insights with TradeFlock. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye bye. Thanks,
Bye
Anamika.
bye. Bye.